There is a race none can win. No matter your skill or execution.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
No matter how hard you try. But if instead of looking to win, you approach it differently. If you control everything you can, while accepting anything you can't. If you discard any and all opposition, focusing solely on your own way. If, whenever you need, you don't hesitate to restart the clock. And leave to others the counting of its seconds. You may come to realize that, actually, it never was a race to begin with. And if it isn't a race, then you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. The Cosmograph Daytona.
And action!
All right. Here we go, guys. It's Original OC with you back on the Original OC channel on this Tuesday. Is today Tuesday? Tuesday, the 16th of December, 2025. How's everybody doing? I hope like I do that a lot of you guys have tremendous amount of time off. Hopefully this is your last week in the office and you've set the stage for 2 weeks of holiday bliss. I just came back from a quick mini vacation where it was about 60 degrees warmer than where I am right now. And I can't say I'm thrilled to be back. I'm happy to be back with you guys. I'm okay to be back with you guys, but it is now what temperature is it? It's now 27 degrees in the New York City area. It sucks. It sucks. I'm not going anywhere. I am not anywhere. But we do have breaking news today. Breaking news on FP Journe. We'll be getting into that discussion in 5 minutes, but we also have breaking news on AP, breaking news on Audemars Piguet, and we'll get to that in 6 minutes. We'll get to that in 6 minutes. But I'm glad to be back. Hope everyone is having an incredible Tuesday. If you're watching right now, leave a comment in the chat. I want to say hi to every single person. If someone really, really, really wants to jump on the screen, on the stream, on the panel, let me know. Send me a private message, and I'll send you a link to the panel. See, we'll do a closed panel. You can jump on by invite only. Done. Not a single person is. I mean, I may be exaggerating a little bit, but I'm flying solo. I'm flying solo, or I could open up the panel to anybody. That would be crazy. I could do that. Like, everybody's welcome back. Everybody's welcome back. Anybody can jump on. Now I might not. Anyway, let's see who is in the chat. Let's see who we got. Oh, look at this. We got Earls. Hello, OC. Hello, Earls. What's up? You're first. You're first in chat. By the way, if you're also watching this, upvote the live stream. We need to get to 30 likes in the first 15 minutes, if that's possible. So please help me out on that. We got C3D now chat. Sup, C3D? Good to see you. Hey, look at this. We've got a member. First member comment of the show. It's Doc Mick in Florida. Hello, everyone. Good to see Doc Mick in the chat. Listen, we have open chat here. Everyone's free to speak their mind. As long as it's about watches and the watch community and it's positive, then we have an open chat. If you have been banned, if you think you've been banned unfairly, send me a message and I will reconsider. But for the most part, I think people who have been banned are people who have forfeited their right to contribute to the community. But I may be wrong. Listen, it's the holidays. It's the holiday time of year. It's time for atonement. Is this atonement? Sorry, that's Yom Kippur. We're doing Rosh Hashanah right now. What are we doing? Hanukkah. Guys, I'm not very up to speed on my holidays. Right now we're in the middle of Halloween and Hanukkah. Oh, Christmas and Hanukkah. Anyway, what's up, Doc Mick? Good to see you here. We've got Earls with a comment. FP Journe must be late this year. I already received my Oris rejection letter for 2026. That's the thing about Oris, is they don't reject any. They don't reject anybody. You should be rejecting Oris. Please, guys, reject Oris. Please reject Oris. Do everything in your power to reject Oris. Actually, if you're a fan of this channel, you don't really need much help. You don't even consider Oris. Oris is like, that's not even a word that ever popped to your head. Along with hopefully Norquan, Tudor, Moser, and all the other stuff. We've got Jen G, who's also a member. Got Doc Mick, who's a member. Jen G is also a member. I'll drop the link to the memberships. Why not? It's the Christmas time of year. If you want to upgrade your membership, or for those of you who don't have a star next to your name and you want to become a member, here's the link. I mean, there's no better gift than giving yourself the gift of an OC channel membership. So upgrade your membership today before the prices go up on January 1st. Guys, there's the price of gold, exchange rates, tariffs. It's eating into the bottom line. We're going to have to raise prices, but get in now. Be grandfathered in on the old prices. Prices are going up on January 1st, guys. Is Journemas Eve the night when Journe Claus tells his favorite children that the others are losers? Guys, stage is set for, we actually are in the dark. As much as transparent as FP Journe is, oh, well, they send a letter and they let you know. If everybody I know has received diddly squat. They haven't received anything. They got no allocation letters, no rejection letters, no nothing, no emails, no nothing. So for the so much the FP Journe transparent process, huh? The people who have been expecting their allocation letters have gotten Zilch. Zilch. They got nothing. They got nothing to show for it. They're hobnobbing with all these watch nerds Tuesday after Tuesday after Tuesday after Tuesday. And what do they have to show for it? They're driving an hour and a half each way to these stupid Aperol spritzes or whatever they call them for some bad cheese and crackers. And they're mingling with these nerds. I went to an FP Journe event once, and a guy was wearing a fake Nautilus. It's a true story. And he got caught wearing the fake Nautilus and got listed from FP Journe. That was fun. That was fun. But listen, there's a bunch of watch nerds there. You got to put up with watch nerds month after month after month, and then they fucking string you along. Oh, well, maybe we'll send you a letter. No thanks. Not for me. I have no interest in buying one of those ugly watches. But I do have to say that if I look at it as an investment-oriented collector, it's a great watch. Every watch goes for over retail. So listen, if you're an investor, which there are a lot of us who are very investment-oriented, fucking buy it. It's a no-brainer. It's like someone had free money. But no one's buying FP Journe because they look good. I mean, those are really... Of all the brands, I would say they have a higher percentage of ugly watches than almost any other brand. If you disagree, let me know. Jump on the panel. Let me know if you want to just a link in the chat, and maybe I'll drop the link. Maybe we'll open up the panel up for anybody. Like literally anybody who wants to jump on could jump on. It could be a free for all. Let's just fucking do it. We'll have to lose. The Patek Philippe magazine arrived today. Congratulations. Yeah, mine arrived a couple days ago. I haven't opened it. It's still in the plastic. But guys, reach for the cross. Patek Philippe and Rolex are the best. What am I wearing today, you might ask? I'm wearing the Rolex Snow Dweller, the Oyster Perpetual Snow Dweller. 43 millimeters, oyster steel, big giant clasp, huge clasp with the snow shovel extension. Yeah, let's loom it up, baby. Loom it up. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Who's going to argue with that bad boy? Loomed and ready to go. But for those of you who are Patek owners, kudos to you because Patek is the best. Rolex is the best. Patek is the best dress watch. Sorry, guys, it's not FP Journe. Watches are ugly. Ugly. Hey, we got Evan G in the chat. That's some nice t-shirt and shorts weather there. Where? Not here. Not here. Got Doc Mick saying hello again. Thank you. Hello again, Doc Mick. What's up? We've got Skip Intro, FUP Journe. Let's see, FUP, what does that mean? Oh, yeah, that's like fuck you, P. Journe is more like it. Skip Intro is a member. Thank you for being a member. And thank you, Evan G, for also being a member. Jen G. All the members get special shout outs. Skip Intro. Skip Intro is, by the way, someone's texting me a couple of minutes ago. They're like, hey, OC, we heard you got a new car. Can you share pictures? It may be too soon. It may be too soon to share pictures. But I was heavily influenced by Skip Intro and several other people. Bond Collector, MJ, Diego Buckley, Brody, Evan, Eddie, two Eddies. A lot of people went. A lot of America. A lot of people were involved in the thought process. A lot of people, but believe it or not, a lot of people. I was about to say the brand. I don't want to do that. It's got to be a surprise. It's going to be a surprise. Yeah, F you, Journe. They just screwed over thousands and thousands of people who've been waiting patiently for the letter. Can I get the letter? Where's the email? I need the email. Just sucking on the teat of F. Journe. Can I please get an allocation? I'll drive an hour and a half each way to have bad crackers and moldy cheese for 2 years, 2 or 3 years. Some people have been waiting 4 years to get a watch. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing, guys. And not a single person likes the watch. I mean, there may be like 3% of the people who are waiting for an FP Journe actually like the way it looks. Most of the people do not like it. If there's a model you like, let me know in the chat. But come on, let's be real. They're ugly. They're an acquired taste. Acquired taste. Hey, we got thank you, Skip Intro. We got BW in the chat, who's in Florida, enjoying the nice weather there, hopefully. Greet everyone. BW is a member. Thank you for being a member. I love my members. Andy Lewis, his customary greeting. Howdy, y'all. Andy is a member. Draker, who's a member. I think he might have gotten a gift membership. Or did you pay for your membership, Calendar Draker? I don't mean to besmirch. Not to worry, Tudor doesn't reject anyone either. Guys, do not buy Tudor. Tudor was, by all accounts, the worst performing brand of 2025. The worst performing brand. And that's very detailed information provided by OC Analytics. It's a startup. It's like a new data research firm in the watch industry. It's OC Analytics. But they have declared, without any empirical or actual figures, facts and figures, that Tudor is the worst performing brand. There should be not a single person who watches this channel who would ever buy a modern Tudor. Please don't do it. I implore you, please don't do it. Yeah, and don't buy Norquan either. Norquan is terrible. Don't do it. Hey, look at this. We got Anteater, member for 2 months. Really? That's awesome. Hello, y'all, and Merry Christmas. Yeah, you're allowed to say Merry Christmas on this channel. That's right. We can say Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Season's greetings, whatever you want to say. But thank you for being a member for 2 months. That's pretty good. By the way, check in if you have the months coming to a quick end, guys. See if you have a free member milestone chat. Click on the currency icon at the bottom. That's either like a dollar sign or a pound sign or something to make sure you use your free member milestone chats. Skip Intro using the member emojis, by the way. Ferrari, Ferrari, Ferrari. Very cool. Yeah, use your custom member emojis, guys. Hey, we got whole milk. You know, he's clever on the awful brand. And I can't think of anybody who would be stupid enough to buy Gerald. I mean, I know one person who's not stupid, who has 2 Gerald Charleses. That person, depleting temporary insanity. But I like him. He's a cool guy. Very cool guy. But no one else, and I mean no one, not even Theo from Theo and Harris, who spooks for London Jewelers, and they carry Gerald Charles there. But no one should have Gerald Charles. Do not, and I repeat, do not. Jeez, talk about terrible Wi-Fi. Terrible Wi-Fi. Ryan Hofre, not a member, but he does remind everybody and encourages everybody to like the stream. Let's get to 30 likes, guys. Let's get to 30 likes. I got 99 problems, and F. Pajon will never be one. Thank you. Thank you, Skip Andrew. I will never. There was a time about 7 months ago when I almost bought a FP Journe Chronometre Bleu as an investment. It was $75,000. Now they're $155,000. Who's going to pay $155,000 for a Chronometre Bleu? Which, by the way, production has been ceased on the Chronometre Bleu. No longer in production, according to very, very credible sources. Well, you'll wait 4 years to put an FP Journe in my safe. No thanks. Easy Ease in the chat. Only crown matters, man. Hey, all happy holidays. The crown and the cross. Thank you, Easy E. Got Aunt G. What's up? I think he goes by AG. Are you AG? Grand Seiko. Yes, you should reject both brands. Don't buy Grand Seiko. Don't buy Tudor. Is about to spin up a new production facility next month. Next month. MD Chaz in the chat. We already got over 30 people watching. There's over 30 people watching this. Does one include the 12 rejection letters when they flip their first F. Pajon with box and papers? That's a good, it has to have, you have to have provenance. You need to have provenance when you sell your first F. Pajon. So yeah, I would include all those emails. Include all the rejection emails. Definitely. You didn't get your free member chat yet? That's weird. Yeah, you didn't because you're not a member. Become a member. Become a member. Hey, look at this. No Biggie Sal's in the chat. I passed on buying a Tudor. I wouldn't even phrase it that way. Like, you passed on buying a Tudor. Like, that's not the right way to phrase it. In order to keep this membership, better ROI. Fuck yeah. Yeah. I know someone who's about to sell 14 Tudors. Lost their ass on all of them. 14 Tudors. If I had a choice of trading, I would trade 14 Tudors for just a regular old Rolex GMT. That'd be or a Rolex sub. One Rolex Submariner is worth more than 14 Tudors. Easily. No Biggie Sal, good to see you in the chat. A member. He's been a member for a long time too. He was one of the first members. He and Wayne's World were the first 2 members of this channel, and I'll never forget that. Never forget the commitment. Ferrari, yeah, the Ferrari. That's right. I don't think so. Oh, you thought it was a Mustang? Nope. Hey, we got ZD in the chat from Los Angeles. What's up, ZD? Member. ZD's a member. I'm going to get to the breaking news in 2 seconds. Let me just make sure I say hi to everybody here. Yeah, waiting for my letter. It's demeaning. It's demoralizing. By the way, if you're waiting for an FP Journe rejection letter, if you want to share, quickly, just in one comment, just type in the model that you requested or the model that you wish you would get and how long you've been waiting. So let me and how many rejection letters you've received. Like I've been waiting 3 years for Octo Luma Samarain Rizolanzo Luma Octo Finissimo or whatever. They have weird names. But if you actually are waiting for an FP Journe, just let us know which one in the chat. And I will pass judgment if you deserve it or not. How about that? There's only one. How am I going to run a... There's only one acceptable Grand Seiko, says Doc Mick. I don't, I would say there's 0. No offense. I know you have one, good for you, but I got to keep real. I got to keep it real. Got Julius Caesar in the chat. Look at this. Member for 8 months. I'll stick with Patek Paul and other high-end luxury brands over FP Journe. Thank you, Julius. Thank you very much. That's a great comment. I think we should all heed that friendly advice. Thank you for being a member for 8 months. Really appreciate that. Prices are going up January 1st. And I've got everybody. I'm pretty sure, says Ryan Hofre, they're going to call me for a steel land dweller, but I don't know anymore. I don't know more. I super chat, and I like OC memberships are a pain in the ass. They're a pain. How is that even possible? Memberships are the easiest thing in the world. You click on it, you become a member, and you get you get the star next to your name. Get a free member milestone chat every month. Well, I hope you get the land dweller. Good luck to you. All right, on to the breaking news. Breaking news. This is an article from I'm going to credit World Tempest. It says Audemars Piguet begins construction of its new manufacturer in Meyrin. This article is from September 2023. Okay, take notes, guys. Take notes. This article is from September 2023. The breaking news at this hour is that this factory that they broke ground on in September 2023 is complete and is opening. You heard it here first. I have the exclusive. I have breaking news. This factory is opening within a few weeks in Switzerland, and will give Audemars the Piguet the capacity to produce 60,000 watches a year. That's right, 60,000 watches. How many more women's watches will they be able to produce? Thousands and thousands more. Thousands more mini Royal Oaks, thousands more 38 millimeter perpetual calendars, thousands more lady codes, thousands more women's complicated watches. Guys, AP's vision, and by the way, this was started by Francois, not by Ilaria. This factory, this increase in production, they're going to be able to hire 350 new people here, and they're going to be able to expand production by 10,000 units. 10,000 units. Is this a good idea? I mean, it's a good idea to modernize and make new facilities, but the question is, should they actually be putting in like full production lines at this point in time and increasing production? I don't know. It's kind of a precarious time. Well, let's read this article. Let's read the article from, I will read you this article from, let's see here, 2023. It's from September 2023. The Swiss hot horology manufacturer Audemars Piguet is pleased to announce, again, this is back in September of 2023, pleased to announce the construction of its new industrial building in Meyrin. Located on a street next to the current factory, this project combines architectural heritage and technical innovation. The restoration of a historic building on the new site will be joined by the construction of a new building. The cornerstone was laid this afternoon. The byline is September 2023. And the project emphasizes optimization of existing spaces and the construction of a new central building with 3 production space, as well as construction of 2 wings on the upper ground floor. The new manufacturing site will house Audemars Piguet's case and bracelet production, as well as its new technology center. Yeah. This will be, the site is close to public transportation, will offer a 56-space underground car park. AP will be able to accommodate 350 additional employees at the new facility, and it is expected to allow them to boost production to 60,000 units annually. 9,400 square meter facility, which is approximately 100,000 square feet. 100,000 square feet. And this facility is opening next month, just in a matter of weeks. Breaking news. No one else will bring you this breaking. How come no one else reports the real important watch news? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see here. What else? What else is going on? Oh, by the way, AP is also opening an AP house in Geneva, overseeing Lake Geneva. So that should be pretty interesting. Breaking news at this hour. AP has completed production of their new 100,000 square foot facility. It will be going online in a matter of a couple of weeks, allowing AP to increase production to 60,000 units annually. What do you think, guys? Should we let AP back in the Holy Trinity? Should AP be allowed back in the Holy Trinity? That's a good question. Remember when we kicked them out? We kicked them out. When was that? That was like around this time last year, right? search here. Anyway, no AP in the Holy Trinity. Ooh, okay. Let's do a poll question. Let's do a poll question here. Let's do a poll question. Should AP be let back in to the Holy Trinity for 2026? Boom. Poll is live. Maybe we'll get to 20 votes. The first 20 people who vote will determine the winner. The first 20 people who vote. Should AP be let in back in to the Holy Trinity? Got some campaigning going on in the chat, guys. Some people are shrewd. Some people are shrewd. Look at this. No Biggie Sal says, you can't be in the Holy Trinity as a one-trick pony. Ooh. Boom. Wow. No Biggie Sal says no AP in the Holy Trinity. Jen G says no AP in the Holy Trinity. Ooh, look at this. The real original Diego M, also known as Diego M, AP is not Holy Trinity. They send out hoodies for Christmas. They send out hoodies for Christmas? No, that's not Holy. That's not Holy Trinity. That's not Holy Trinity. Diego's right on that. Hey, Ghost of Yiddish Gambino, member of the OC channel, is also in the chat. If AP is out of the Holy Trinity, I nominate Cartier to fill that slot. No chance. No chance. No chance. By the way, I'm going to pull this up real quick. Hold on. Bear with me. This is from last year. This is from August. No. It's from a long time ago. Let me pull this up here. Let me see if I can do this. Let me see. Hold on a second. I gotta dump that. How do you like the holiday theme? Pretty cool. Share screen. Just show window. Boom and boom. Remember this? Let's see here. Let's see. Let's document recovery. Don't need to see that. Yeah, remember this thing? This was, yeah, this is when we, hold on. That a little bit bigger. No, I wanted that to be bigger. Boom. There we go. See, the Horology Strategy Council that we started for 2025. Cartier, Rolex, Patek, Omega, Vacheron. And these were all the nominees, remember? We went through that very exhaustive process. So Cartier is in there for 2025. Should they be in there again? I don't know. AP was booted out. AP was booted out. I mean, we could redo this for 2026, but not right. Where the link? All right. You want the link? Sure. Boom, there's the link. What's wrong with hoodies? I mean, do you think Patek would send out hoodies? I don't know. I mean, hoodies is, remember hoodies, the first 4 letters of hoodies is the same 4 letters as hoodlum. Think about that. So there's the link. There's the link. So yeah, that was the horology strategy count for 2025. It'll change for 2026 for sure, but just refreshing your recollection. Let's go back. Go back and pull this up here. All right. Yeah. I wouldn't mind getting a green Rolex umbrella. Yeah, that's class. A Rolex umbrella is class. Umbrella, Ella, hey, hey, hey. Nope. Yep, panel's open. Let's check on the poll real quick. Let's check on the poll. We got room for 3 more votes. 3 more votes in the poll. We want to get to at least 20 votes. The first 20 people to vote get their votes counted. If you want your and I see you in the back room. Hold on 1 second. I will get you on. We need 2 more votes, guys. 2 more votes to determine what AP will be let back in to the Holy Trinity. Diego M. Greetings.
Hello.
Hello there.
What's the conversation tonight?
We're talking FP Journe. We're talking this AP new manufacturing facility so they can boost their production. They're going to be making all their bracelets and cases in-house, which you would have thought that they did before, but
yeah. So that was a subcontractor, or
I guess some of the bracelets were made in like a different facility or whatever. Who knows?
Gotcha. Interesting.
We're not talking about anything. No, it's not interesting. But we are breaking the news. No one else covers this stuff. No one else covers like the actual industry happenings. I don't know why.
Breaking news. Can you show my avatar full screen real quick? It's the Christmas spirit after all.
Of course.
Decorated the tree last week. Got some nice ornaments.
Those ornaments, by the way, are available at ornaments.ap.com. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Let's see if I think.
Let's have some fun.
But yeah. So
yeah,
let me ask.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say the FP Journe allocation process.
Mm-hmm.
They've gotten a lot of kudos especially over the past year, for how they do their process of telling you that you're going to get a watch or telling you that you're not going to get a watch.
Right.
And people are all waiting. Everyone's waiting with bated breath. Never the letter. I just want to know, am I going to get it or not?
Right. I think it's yeah, it's a good process. I mean, no other brand does it.
You think,
The only other
do you think
branding
do you think the people who get the rejection letters will feel happy about the process, as happy about the process tomorrow as they do today?
in the interim, no, they're going to be upset. They're going to say, "Why not me?" They're going to hear about other people that they've been to the events with that are getting acceptance letters, and but you have to look at it. You have to almost armchair quarterback yourself, right? What if instead of getting the rejection letter, they just didn't say anything, and for 5 years you just kept waiting and waiting? Um,
Hmm.
I've spoken about I mean, privately, I can touch on it a little bit, but the issue with being on the wait list for a brand like Patek on a really big piece is that every day is Christmas Eve to you, you know? And when you wake up in the morning and there's no presents under the tree, it kills you, you know? And then, oh, well, maybe this Saturday I'll get the call. And then you don't get the call, and then, they're closed on Sundays. And so now you're like, damn, what the hell? So I think it's better. Like, it might sting to be just told, like, you're not getting a watch this year, but at least you know that you can focus on other things for that year, that you don't have to wonder and worry. Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? Maybe if I make one more
Mhm.
visit this year, they'll call me. If I send a nice bottle of wine for the guy's birthday, maybe, the next week, uh, Elegant will just appear. I think it's great.
I suppose you're right. A letter or some kind of notice telling you logically, not with the uncertainty. So
Yeah. Can someone in the chat let me know if it's either my signal's really bad, OC, or yours is? I'm assuming it's mine
could be
because
mine.
when I was watching on YouTube, it was fine. But
I think it could be StreamYard. So
right, yeah. But like I
I
said,
sound
you
you
have
sound you sound fine.
Okay. My perspective, though, again, comes with the caveat of you have to armchair quarterback yourself. If you don't look at it in that perspective, you're just going to be upset. Why didn't I get the watch this year? Why is he getting the watch this year? When you really just need to say, I get to focus on other things. And it's kind of cool the brand to tell me that, give me the ability to do that. Yeah.
Remember what Yoni said. One of Yoni's 5 rules. I think it was do not do this. Do not compare yourself to other collectors. And that's one of the ones that he probably nailed because everyone always tends to think of themselves as having way too many positive attributes than they actually do, or they may have positive attributes and characteristics, but compared to somebody else, it's minuscule. Compared to the guy that
Mhm.
spent $1 million in jewelry, I mean, with Journe, you don't have that issue, but you still
Right.
have mega collectors at Journe, and you still have people who are plugged in.
Yeah. And you
So
also have people with access. That's very important. Um, if you live in a city that has a boutique, I mean, you don't have to have money. You don't have to have sports cars or a vintage wine collection. If you're simply there and you're a likable person and you can hold a conversation, you stand a really good chance. A, to be welcomed in the community, and B, to get an allocation. Versus if you live in, I don't know, say Kansas, right? And you have a 911 in the garage and you have a great watch collection, but you only visit 3 or 4 times a year. The unfortunate reality is that you're forgettable. When you're there, yeah, they love you. Hey, great to see you. You know, how's the family? What's new? Picked up any pieces? Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. And then you leave, and guess what? The next week they're meeting with the same 15 people that they meet with every single week. So, yeah, there's a lot of factors at play.
Yep. These watches aren't cheap, so I guess it's also good that you know from a financial perspective how to plan. You know,
Absolutely. I mean, it's my thing with Patek was like, dude, I kind of want to know because if this isn't happening, like, no big deal. There's other things that I'll do, you know?
Yeah.
And
Patek definitely, because those watches are expensive now. They've
oh
gone
my God.
to the moon. Super expensive in secondary, obviously, for the Aquanaut and Nautilus, but even in primary, brand new from the retailer. You know, some of the watches that you think are $35,000 watches are now $50,000, and some of the ones that you thought were $50,000 are now $75,000. You know,
5172G is now at retail. That when I saw it for sale on our honeymoon in Europe, it was like 80 out the door, all in, something like that, 78, 80. It's 106,000 retail plus tax. So you're pushing $120,000 for this watch right here. That 2.5 years ago was going for 80 all in. They've almost added $40,000 on the out the door price, and the watch hasn't changed one bit.
Yep.
Now you're going to tell me that the cost of gold during that time, for however many grams that is fluctuating $80,000 or $40,000? No, no, just ridiculous.
Yep. Here it is, the 5172G chronograph on Patek.com, $106,000.
Yep.
$106,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's yeah, people want to say Journes are expensive. This isn't any cheaper. You know what I mean? Like, this is insane. Is it a great watch? Absolutely. You know what you can buy for $106,000? I'll
Yeah.
give you
It's
two watches. You can buy a Zeitwerk and you can buy a Datograph. If you really care about horology and finishing and
Mhm.
history, this watch, the 5172G, has no history behind it. A Zeitwerk and a Datograph, those are like Mount Rushmore pieces. By the way, that's a new term that I just created off
Okay.
the cuff. It's a Mount Rushmore piece. And I know everybody's going to revolt because they didn't come up with it and it's such a great idea and they're just upset that I just keep having these great ideas. But Mount Rushmore piece is a new term in our vocabulary. Anyway, $106,000, you can go buy yourself a Mount Rushmore piece, or you can buy this. And why would you buy this from the OC? Tell me, why would you buy this from the authorized dealer? What reason would it be?
I mean, people want their name on the papers. They want to buy things that are brand new that nobody else has worn. They have a relationship with the retailer, and they get,
Yep.
you know, they don't care about prices. They don't care about
Mm.
resale. They're not going to ever sell it. So why do they care if it's worth less than the price at which you know, I don't know. But there's a lot. They seem to sell all of them, you know.
Yeah.
Doc Mick mentions the 6159. Absolutely gorgeous piece. This is the one that was introduced for 2025 with the sapphire crystal. This is white gold, retrograde perpetual calendar. 142,000 now.
Yeah. I mean, this is a really cool piece. Killer piece, actually.
142,000.
If I had unlimited resources and the wrist, this would be my John Wick piece. Another term I just made up off the cuff.
This one,
it's really cool.
It's really cool. This one I don't think is selling for more than retail. I think this is selling for in secondary for just around retail. Maybe you save the tax.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's a slick looking watch. Jem Patek, by the way, in the chat. Jem Patek, the 5172G is a great watch.
It is,
Thank you,
and
Jem.
he was reading my mind. He says they also, when asking the question, why would you buy this from the retailer? Because for those that are unaware, you can get a 5172G for around $50,000. So you have to ask yourself, is having your name on the paper, is having something brand new when you can actually buy these unworn for around 50, 55? So take that out of the equation. So really, having your name on the paper and maintaining the relationship with your authorized dealer, if that's worth $70,000 to you, who am I to argue? But I think most people that buy this piece, if you were to stand outside the authorized dealer with a microphone and a camera, say, congratulations, beautiful watch. What's next for you with Patek Philippe? They're going to go, well, I'm so glad you asked. We actually just had a great conversation about the Aquanaut Chrono. And we're in talks with Nautilus. We're easing into that conversation. So we'll see what happens next year, right? Nobody, a very small percentage is going to say, what do you mean? What's next with Patek? I bought my Patek. I don't understand the question.
Mhm.
I liked the watch, so I bought it. What do you mean, what's next? I picked the one that I liked the most. How many people do you think out of 100 OC are going to be like, what do you mean? What's next?
These watches are expensive, so I can't imagine people being able to afford buying multiple watches, watch after watch after
Oh,
watch.
look in the mirror, buddy.
I
Jeez.
know. No, I'm stuck. I'm screwed.
Yeah. So, I
Screwed.
mean, people want to give Journe, people don't like Journe for whatever reason, but
Because they're ugly.
to some people they are. I think a lot of people, I think some people like the way they look. I think other people are just buying them for ulterior motives. Um, but at least with Journe, you're not really forced to buy things you don't want to get
That's
something that
true.
you want.
That's true. And also,
Because
yep.
the DNA of the quote unquote, and we'll say quote unquote, entry level pieces is shared with the entire collection, right? So if you don't like an automatique or a loon, then you wouldn't like the resonance. They share very similar, they have the exact same case. They have the
Yeah.
same
They have the
crowns.
same
They
looking
have the same,
subdials, same hands. Yeah.
exactly, same hands, everything. So like if you get one, if you get an entry level piece, you're not like, oh, they made me buy a watch that doesn't have a tourbillon so that I could get a watch with the you know what I mean? Like, no. With Patek though, or AP, they quote unquote made me buy this so that I can get what I really want. Or the family dealer that is like, such a wonderful family, great family, been in blah blah blah. Oh, go buy these diamonds. Oh, go
Mhm.
buy this Breitling. So that doesn't happen with Journe. And with Journe, if you're not going to get a piece, they tell you you're not getting the piece. It's beautiful.
And I also think one of the benefits of Journe is that it is relatively exclusive. They've only made maybe 20,000 watches in their entire history, and they only make 1,000 watches a year. So, I mean, Rolex probably makes 1,000 watches a day. I don't know what they make a day, but the thing is, it is rare in that sense, especially if you choose something that is not a common complication, or if you even go back
Mhm.
to one of those old ones. I mean, those are probably way out of price reach for most people. Things with ruthenium dials or brass movements or mother of pearl or whatever those limited edition the kind of things are. But I mean, in the guy's entire history, he only made 20,000 watches.
Yeah, I mean, if
So
that's important for you, they definitely, that's another benefit of the brand. I know people people speak like I don't want to be in a room with a Panda Daytona when everybody else has a Panda Daytona, you know.
I
But
know.
like,
I've said that.
how often does that happen in your life, you know? So for me, it's never really been a selling point of a watch, but I can understand why people would care about that.
Brody's in the chat. Member of the OC channel. Happy holidays, OC. You'll get nothing and like it. That's what the rejection letters are going to be like. Listen,
Merry Christmas,
and
Brody.
yep, they're going to be like, hey, by the way, Brody is I was going to say he's at a. Never mind. We don't want to dox where he is, but the subject tonight, one of the subjects is Journe. That'll give you a hint.
Fipidget.
I'll get nothing. Listen, I'm getting nothing from literally everybody. I'm not getting anything. Got Aussie expat in the chat. Captain, member of the OC channel. Baseball watches. Everyone remembers this term. Baseball watches need love to OC. Listen, do I regret calling it a baseball watch? No, what I said was that small subdial, that if you it has that curved line. If you drew another curved line, it would resemble a baseball. That's all I ever said. And I said it was ugly. And I regret it. Buckley's in the chat too. Buckley, member of the OC channel, says, imagine you could only have one watch per brand. Shit would get real quick.
Right, now, what does he mean by that? Like, you're only allowed to buy one watch ever?
Yeah, that's an interesting hypothetical, but like, what's the purpose, Buckley? Like, why the need to impose that
the purpose limitation? Is that, well, I think it's a fairy tale universe theory. I don't know. I'm kind of tired, but I think what he's saying is a lot of these brands would see that some of the pieces they're making really don't have a demand. You know? Assuming that you can get anything from a brand, there'd be a lot of, yeah. I don't know. Tell us what you mean, Buckley. Can't make it.
He says to root out all the journeys. Okay. In other words, like you
understand.
Yeah, I don't understand. I'm still not following, but I'm slow.
All the cucks. Okay. It's not helping.
By the way, the poll results are in, and should AP be let back into the Holy Trinity for 2026? The answer is a resounding no. 80% of the people who watched this channel and voted said no. Only 20% said yes. The reputation of AP has taken such a fucking solid knock over the last 12 months. I mean, and we covered it ad nauseum here. The kind of hideous collaborations, the weird marketing, the pandering to LGBTQ, the shift to the women's watches, the weird experiences at at retail at the ground level, just crazy things that they've been doing. Well, it has been having an impact on their reputation.
Here's the thing. So in one breath, you can say, how can a watch brand that made a Spider-Man watch be considered for Holy Trinity? And in the other breath, you could rebuttal and say, well, have you seen the incredible machining of that watch, the technical prowess of the design, the innovation of the case? That is why they are Holy Trinity. I would say, fair enough. But if that's your criteria for Holy Trinity, I can rattle off 17 other brands that should be up in there as well. So it's like, you can't have your cake and eat it too. What makes a brand a Holy Trinity brand? I think it really is nothing more than just some. Is this even a real thing, or is this just some like how people used to say they'd get elegance for free? Like we always hear these things. Was Holy Trinity like written into law in Switzerland, or was it just like, yeah, these are the Holy Trinity, like it was just like lingo, kind of like Jetstream or Wingspan?
Yeah, 80% of the people said do not let AP back in the Holy Trinity. That's not a good sign. Not a good sign.
Seriously though, is
Let's
Holy Trinity, was that a real thing where like the Swiss horological whatever society was like, these three brands we deem the Holy Trinity: Vacheron, Patek, Audemars Piguet? If the
that's
answer
a
is
good
yes, that was a real thing, then I understand why they're Holy Trinity, because you can't go back and, change what is,
yeah, maybe someone who actually knows about watches can jump on and tell us a little bit about how that concept of the Holy Trinity got started. Is it just because those are like the three oldest brands? Like Vacheron, AP, and I mean Breguet is just as old, right? How come Breguet isn't in the Holy Trinity? I mean, AP really, what did AP do to be in there in the first place?
Um, I think what a lot of these brands did was more so in like the early 1900s, and I mean, I don't think of Audemars Piguet in the 60s and 70s as really standing out.
Buckley says what they did was they went from exclusive to inclusive, and not everyone should get a trophy. Weak marketing. That's several different things. Yep, definitely. They wanted to go from exclusivity to let's be very inclusive.
Yeah. Did you get Skip Intro's member chat?
Skip Intro's member chat is douche behavior with a capital D in bold. No to FB Journe. Thank you, Skip Intro. Skip Intro, by the way, is a member for 7 months. Thank you, Skip Intro.
I think he raises an interesting point, because we were kind of talking about the process of getting a Journe. I would raise the question, what should they do instead? If they have an insurmountable demand to a finite amount of watches, what do they do? What can they do? I think the way they're handling it is the best thing that they could do.
You meaning have try to come up with new and interesting collections that can be a hit and
We're talking
like
FP
divert.
Journe.
Oh, Epijourne.
Yeah. I mean, what could they do, OC? What could they do better in their current situation? You're a smart guy. You tell me.
I know. I mean, I think they're doing fine. I mean, the guy doesn't want to grow. If he wants to make the same mistake that Chopik made, you'd say, listen, there's so much demand here. Well, instead of making 1,000 watches, we'll make 3,000. We'll just do it, whatever it takes, because we know that we have enough demand the last X number of years. We want to cash in now. Let's dramatically boost. So with the line to go like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Up and to the right, and we can show like, hey, we're growing like 20, 30, 40% a year. And that'll be very, very attractive. And then eventually you cash out. Not everybody stays there forever. You can't take it with you.
Yeah, and in the most basic sense, my understanding is that the sales associates, the boutiques, the brand, they, for them to choose who gets a watch, it's they decide who gets it. It's as simple as that. Now, what are they deciding based off of? I think it's, do you actually want the watch? One. I think it's, do we want to be around you? Because if we're going to give you something that is exclusive, right, is special, we're probably going to continue seeing you in the future. Do we want to associate with you? Do we want to go to dinner with you? I think they have every right to do that. And I just don't know what else they could do. Like is it a lottery system? Is that how they should do it? Is it first come first serve? If
Yeah,
it's
I
first
think
come
that
first serve, you're gonna have thousands of people say never mind. I'm not gonna wait 10 years. So, and in the
by the
meantime,
way,
they're whining and dining people, and they're offering you, access to their boutiques to hang out and have free cocktails and food and meet other people at no charge. Whether you can make it there or not, that's kind of up to you, but at no
Mhm.
charge to you. So yeah, they're doing a great thing.
I'm not sure if the sales associates are vetting every single prospective customer. I think that's where they rely on the feedback of current customers to bring in new customers. Like I think they ask the current customers, who could we be inviting to these events? You know, and those people probably get preferential treatment in terms of being like I think that's the way they're expanding the brand is like they have a core group of people, then they ask those people to invite more people, then those people invite more people, rather than having the ADs vet the SEs vet a whole like thousands of new people. It's kind of a
I I kind
monumental
of hear
challenge.
you. I would say the only thing I would change with yours is I don't think they're actively asking their collectors like, "Hey, we need you to find good people." I think more so the way it works is someone comes in and then they ask their collectors, "Anybody know this guy? Is he is he a good guy? Do you vouch for him?" Essentially, because they have more people than they can. They're already telling people, "We can't invite you to everything. We have to spread the love." You know, I think it's really just you go in, you give your name, you give your story. They say, "All right, cool." They probably know right then and there if it's an absolute no or, "Yeah, this is a yes, and because it's a yes, I'm gonna go and ask some people." "What do you know about OC? What can you tell me
Mhm.
about the guy?" "I saw he's wearing an RM. I'm gonna call my buddies at RM. Did you guys sell him this watch? Yeah? No? How was he? Was he easy to work with?" Et cetera, et cetera.
I think FP Journe is still pretty much a very intimidating brand. They're they don't want to be, but I think there's still a lot of people who have a mischaracterization of them as being not that they're standoffish. It's just that they are high price point watches. I mean, I'll ask this: like, there's 40 people watching right now. How many people watching right now are actually actively request a watch from FP Journe? I bet you it's like under 5 out of 40 people. Probably not a lot of people.
Yeah. It's you know what, OC? It's like the greatest restaurant in the city. And what is that restaurant known for? It's known for incredible food, amazing ambiance, and it's impossible to get a reservation, right?
Yep. Right.
So 90% of the people, they don't even check to see if there's a table available because there isn't. In their mind, there is no table available. In the collector's minds, there's no point for me to go to FP Journe, New York, because there's already 10 million people that live in that city. I have no chance. There's no reservation. There's no table for me. So you know what? We always say they have a lot of demand, but it may not be as much as we think because of that, right?
Hmm.
Um,
Yep. Good point. Hey, Jeff is in the chat, member of the OC channel. He says me. So he's the only one person out of 40 people watching that's actually on the request list or the wish list or whatever for an
mhm.
FP Journe for 2026.
Yeah, I mean, I am. It's started in 23 and then took a little break and jumped back in, and um, I don't know. You're not wrong in that it is a little bit daunting and it's a little bit different than simply going to any other brand and expressing an interest in a piece because there is a really and you have to define what does high caliber mean, but I'm going to use the word. I'm going to say there's a lot of high caliber people that are either Journe collectors or attempting to become Journe collectors. So you already know what you're up against, you know,
Yep.
and you start to compare yourself to them and you start to question, well, you know, this guy's trying to get a watch as well. Yeah, I don't have a shot. You know,
I
is
think
it
FP
even
Journe
worth my
probably
time?
does. Yeah, I think they probably do one of the better jobs in terms of vetting and qualifying prospective customers. I mean, do some watches get flipped? Sure, but
Mhm.
a lot of them don't. It's and I think the other reason that they don't is because they're appreciating in value. So if you get one, you know, you want to hold on to it because you see these auction prices and you see these prices secondary. So in a way,
Yeah.
that keeps them off the market. It makes them even hard to get. It's a vicious cycle for them to be in.
Yeah, and even consider the person that, you know, they get a, let's say their dream watch is a Resonance, right? They're okay paying the retail price of like 160, whatever it is. They're totally fine with that.
Mhm.
And they really want that. And they want to pay 160. So they buy a CS for 60,000. Is it worth 120? Sure. But they're not keeping the watch because they hope the CS goes to 150. They're keeping the watch because it allows them the ability to buy that Resonance in the future, right? And also, I mean, obviously they like the CS, but I think a lot of people that are holding Journes are in a position to where the secondary value, it's not inconsequential, but it's not life changing. Like I said, you're talking about a certain caliber of person in the brand. So, do the watches go up in value? Absolutely. Is that why they're, is that the predominant reason they're holding on to them? I don't think so. I think they're chasing bigger pieces. They're chasing custom dials, custom, you know, I guess not movements, but you know, they only make so many Resonance. They only make so many tourbillons. I'd love to get a tourbillon. You know, think about it. I'd happily pay 200 grand for a tourbillon, whatever they cost. I don't want to pay 1.2 million.
Mhm.
So I think that's why a lot of people hold. But yeah, absolutely. There are people that, oh, I got an Elegant. I'm not going to sell it because next year I'll get this. And now I don't just have the, you know, 100,000 over in the Elegant. Now I've got another 60 in the CS. And then guess what? Next year I'm getting a Resonance. And now I've got the Elegant, the CS, and almost 300 in the Resonance in profit. Yeah, there's people that do that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure.
There's just when you say and next year you'll get this and next year you'll get that. Isn't it impossible for them to reward existing customers with a watch every single year? Just the sheer math doesn't even make sense. People have to wait at least 2 years between watches, maybe more at this
Yeah,
point.
I misspoke. It's probably
No, no,
2 to
I
3
mean,
years. But yeah, you're right. And that is a, you know, that's a risk because if you are buying these watches solely for that reason, right? Um, as what's the word? As investments. I mean, that's the word. If you're buying these solely as investments, be careful. You know,
well, I mean, they're safe.
they're on record
They're
as saying that their auction prices are way too high, right? They're not. They don't
well,
make
Mike
sense.
Manjo said that. Yeah, a lot of people, everybody said that, including the Pierre himself, the head of the Americas, said those prices are
Mhm.
silly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan Singer is in the chat, reminding everybody to upvote. Let's get to 30 likes, guys. Let's get to 30. If you're watching this right now and you haven't upvoted yet, upvote the live stream. Let's get to 30 likes. Thank you. MD Chaz is in the chat. What's up, MD Chaz? You should have to have at least 2 homes before you buy an FP Journe. That's not interesting criteria. But they do, what's so interesting about FP Journe as well is they also know, they kind of look at your collection. Like if you're like a hype collector, they take note of that. They're like, oh, this guy has like 7 Rolex and they're, you know, 2 Daytonas and 3 GMTs and 2 Submariners, and he all of a sudden he wants a Journe. I don't think so. Right. I think
Yeah.
they do look at
No,
the collections and
you're absolutely right, and it's why when I saw so many people when my Patek boutique opened up, rushing to go and spend $70,000-$80,000 on a dress piece, it's why I kind of scratched my head because I looked at their collections and they were Grand Seikos, a Tudor, maybe a Rolex, and
Mhm.
then multiple Oris, a Longines, things like that.
A
Nothing
lot
wrong
of them
with
are
that
watch
stuff.
geeks. I know.
But it's a
Yep.
huge, huge, huge jump to go from something like that to a 5172, right? It's an enormous jump. And a lot of these people are, God, late 30s, 40s, maybe even 50s, and they're making this jump at this very specific moment. I find it very interesting. What prevented you from buying a Holy Trinity dress piece in the past 10, 15 years of your life? And I know the simple answer is, well, I wasn't in a position to, but these people that I'm speaking of, they were in a position. They're very successful people. It's that carrot, OC. It's the I'm willing to drop $120,000 because my essay told me that I can get an Aquanaut next.
Hmm.
It's I hate it. And so
It's
you're absolutely
lunacy,
right.
you know?
When you
Yeah.
see people, if I'm a sales associate at FP Journe and I'm interviewing a client, what's in your collection? I've got a Breitling Super Ocean. I have a Submariner Date, Forded, and I have a Speedmaster. I'm gonna go, interesting. Okay, so you don't have anything on leather, and you want to start with a $60,000 watch that happens to be one of the most over retail luxury dress pieces known to man,
Mhm.
the most exclusive, right? The hardest to get. This is where you start. Did you not buy a Reverso at some point in your life for like $5,000, but here you are jumping to 60,000 plus tax? And you're telling me that after that you want an Optimum and then you want to get a Resonance and you've always loved, it's
Mhm.
like, and a Tourbillon would be amazing. So yeah, I think they see people coming in like that and they're just like, yep, no, I got it. I got it.
Yep. I think the irony though is that a lot of the brands that I personally don't like are the kind of brands that if they're in your collection that Journe looks upon favorably. Like if you have a collection with Urban Jurgensen and Satori Ballard and Studio Underdog and a bunch of like micro brands and weird Glasuit Original and all this stuff in the middle, weird quirky stuff. I bet you Journe goes, oh yeah, that's probably our kind of collector. Rather
Yeah.
than someone like me who just has 10 hype Rolex pieces. They're like, yeah, we can see through
Right.
right through this guy, you know.
And I'll be honest with you, OC. My goal with FP Journe right now, in the current state of affairs, I can absorb a 60,000. I have to whisper because my wife's in the other room. I can absorb a $60,000 dress piece just fine, right? Should I pay off for student loans? I'm working on it. Yes, but happily I would do that. Now, what else is on my list? Optimum, Resonant, like those pieces, and I've made it abundantly clear. Those are not like today. Those pieces would be hopefully in 5, 6, 7 years on the precipice of I can actually afford them, right? I hope to be in a position to where I can continue to buy stuff like this in the future. That would mean that things are going well. You know what I mean? If things aren't going well, then I don't need the watch. But I think there's a lot of people that no matter how things are going, they're going to want these pieces because they're going to flip them. I can be honest with myself and say that, you know, the pieces I've requested, there's a timeline associated with them, and it's not a timeline based on how quick you can get them. It's a timeline based on where I hope to see myself in 5 and 10 years. And I want to have something there that can be a reward. You know what I mean?
Yep. Buckley, I think, agrees with the sentiment you said earlier. If you've never looked at any other brand for a dress piece before Journe, you're guilty until proven innocent. 90% chance you are full of shit and there for the money.
I agree a lot. I agree. Yeah, I agree.
And Brody
Now,
says,
here's the thing. Time out. While I agree, can it be argued that they have arguably the most beautiful dress pieces, the best finished movements, the most original designs? I think so. And I think that if a collector really sits down and says, all right, I want a dress piece. We've got Patek 6119. We have Vacheron Traditionnel. We have Audemars Piguet Code 1159. We have Breguet 7057. We have Longue 1. We also have Journe. If they organically choose Journe and they're like, I'm ready to do a big boy piece, and they choose Journe, that's fine. But when I ask you, what do you think about the data graph, and you don't know what a data graph is, I do question it. Why are you asking for a Journe? If you don't know anything about dress watches, or if you don't know anything about Breguet, like how did you come to Journe? What path led you to that? And if the path was simply that you stumbled upon a brand that made a watch on a leather strap that starts at $60,000, I question your motives.
yeah.
Sorry, I
Shout out.
ramble.
No, it's all good. I was going to say Brody is in the chat with a comment here. He says, FP Journe is a brand for true collectors that appreciate the combination of craftsmanship, art, engineering, and design. Some of you Neanderthals just would not understand, so no use explaining it. Brody is one of those in the chat is on the request list for Journe. So it's Jeff, you, and Brody. Anybody else there? By the way, Super Bandit's in the chat. Super Bandit is Pedro Bermudez. Shout out to Puerto Rico crew. I was in Puerto Rico a few days ago, hanging with the crew there. Shout out to Ryan Singer and Chester. Didn't get a chance to meet up with Pedro or Juanel or some of the other cool people in the crew, but hope all is well. It's a lot warmer there than it is here, and I had a fun time. Thank you, Ryan, for hosting.
What do you think about my statement? Too harsh, or does it have some truth?
No, it's I mean, they do have, FP Journe does have a unique design with a common thread that runs through all their pieces. You know, the look of the noodles, the style of the hands, the weird offset power reserves and things like that. You know, so the cases are classic, but the movements are well decorated and well finished. So yeah, I can see the appeal as a dress watch, as something unique, quirky, yet elegant. You know, I get it. It's more original than a lot of the other stuff that comes out from like Recep Rechepi and Simone Brett and Raoul Paget and all that stuff. A lot of that's just carbon copy of Roger Smith or George Daniels or whatever, or whoever those guys are, you know.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. I think, I mean, I'm, you know, my thoughts. It's like you have to love a watch just based on the aesthetics alone. I think their cases are incredible. I mean, the movements, like the movement on this CS, I don't know if you can find another image. Put it up against a 6119, where, okay, is the 6119 movement that caliber from Patek? Is it technically amazing? Absolutely. Is it a workhorse? Yes. It's going to break on you? Probably not. But it invokes zero emotion. A Rolex, you don't even see the movement, you know? I mean, that's just killer. Vacheron comes close with their Traditional, their manual and Traditional. They come close. If they maybe it might be 1-to-1 for them. But I don't know.
It's cool. It is an acquired taste, but I think the thing with taste is in this as a collector, you tend to be influenced not only by your peers, but you tend to warm up to designs over time. So it's the case with the Royal Oak and the Nautilus. You know, I look at them, I don't really love them, but over time you kind of go, okay, I get it. And you rationalize your desire for it. I think that's going to be true with Journe and true with a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this and movement's beautiful, but look at the screws holding the case back.
Yeah.
The crown. I've always loved their crowns. Their crowns are. I don't know if you've ever unwound a Journe crown. It's like nothing else. The cases are platinum or rose gold. I mean, platinum. In every brand, platinum is like, platinum Daytona, platinum Day-Date. That's what people want. Platinum Nautilus, right? The special editions. So, and that's where these watches start. I don't know.
Well decorated. There's a lot of text on there, a lot of weird text, but it's okay. I mean,
the other thing I learned was when they made the switch to rose gold, they didn't increase pricing. Obviously, since that time, pricing has come up, but there was a period of time where the switch happened and they kept prices the same. I think that says a lot about the brand, especially where they were at that time,
Yep. Well, it'll be interesting to see over the next few days who gets the letters saying that they got to watch and who gets letters, if they send them out anymore, saying that, hey, we love you, but we just don't make as many watches to meet demand. Therefore, we love you, but we're going to keep you on the list and we will reach back out to you next year.
Yeah. I don't know if Journe is a brand that will tell you no. From my experience, other brands don't. They don't tell you no. Maybe Rolex, if you ask for something from Rolex, something ridiculous, they do tell you no. But that's not Rolex. That's somebody working for Watches of Switzerland or Bucher or Mayors. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like if you get a no this year and you call your guy, you're like, hey, thanks for the email. How's it looking for 2027? What do you think? If in his gut he knows that it's not going to happen, I don't know that he'll tell you. But I think what you'll see is less engagement from the brand coming your way, less invites. He's not going to text you and say Merry Christmas, Because think about this: if you are if your job is to sell, you have a core set of clients OC. You would send a couple Merry Christmas or Happy New Year's texts out to your key guys, right?
You should. You should.
Are you going to go through your list of 1,000 people and send one to every single one of them?
I mean,
I think the answer is you should.
If you manage your account properly, easy for you to send 1 or 1,000, with a click of a button. But these guys do a lot of their stuff just based on text messages. They don't even put your name in the system. At least least with Journe,
Is it?
you know, like I'm talking about Rolex guys or Protect guys.
Yeah.
But
I'm just trying to paint a
at least with
picture
Journe,
for what.
they're logging everything in the system.
Yeah, I'm just trying to paint a picture for with a brand that may not tell you no. What does it look like when they tell you no? And it might be just
Mhm.
that like, you know, you only got invited to one event this year. Meanwhile, your buddies have been to 3. You didn't get invited to the special dinner. And then everybody that went to that dinner got a watch. So it's like, I don't know.
Well, I think they also have the benefit or the luxury or whatever that people wait 2, 3, 4 years for watches anyway. So they don't have to say, we don't like you or you're not going to get one, because unless you're 3 years in, you're not even wise to the fact that you're not getting it.
Yeah. I mean, there is something to be said, like, you know, a waiting list. The waiting list in this case could be, um, yeah, there's like you're a great person and there's 4 great people ahead of you. You know, you're number 5. So you didn't get a watch this year, but it doesn't mean you won't get a watch. You have to, I don't know, you have to be able to read the room and just know if it's going to happen or not. Because trust me, from experience, if you put too much effort in or too much thought, like it will, um, I don't know, it can get pretty bad.
Stuff all day
Is it
and sip
chat?
espresso, waiting to kill dreams.
I'm gonna turn my Wi-Fi back on because you were cutting out for me with my Wi-Fi on. You're still cutting out without. I don't know if it's you or
Yeah, it's
me.
me. I think it could be me. It could be me. Let me, and the people in chat, is it me cutting out, or is it Diego, or is it both of us? Just let me know. It could be a StreamYard thing. So it's I'm 99% sure it's a StreamYard issue.
Yeah. But again, I
Yeah,
raise the question: what could they do different in their current state of affairs, with the assumption that they don't want to increase production? What could they do different or better?
D Wood, haven't seen D Wood in a while here. Member of the OC channel. Diego is owning the 2396, whatever that is. Get your foot in the FP Journe door. What's a 2396?
I have no idea. I'm just joking. It's a Cartier.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's the movement was made by a company called THA that Journe founded, you know, along with Vianney Halter, and I think they got Danny Flageolet after the fact. But to my understanding, Journe was gone from THA when these watches were produced for Cartier. So I don't think he had any input in the movement at all. I think it was more of a Danny Flageolet piece because it was part of the first de Bethune, the DB1. So it shared the same movement. I think it's the can't remember the movement name. Maybe it's the 1MC movement, but maybe. I mean, everywhere you read about this watch, they all say, "Oh, it's got an FP Journe movement." Technically, I don't think it does. I could be wrong, but who knows, man? I mean, I think it helps more than if it's just a Submariner. You know, if you take the man outside the box and you just focus on the watches, is this a better representation of who Journe wants to, you know, be a Journe owner? I think
Yeah.
yes,
I think so
absolutely.
too. I think so too.
Um,
I think people have this watch or have a, a Longa one, or have a whole variety of different weird or quirky dress watches or weird complicated watches. Those people are more likely to, one, be into Journe, and number two, I think Journe would be more likely to want to see them as collectors.
yeah, and like I really, I'm trying to separate myself from what I'm about to say, but if you see somebody with this watch on their wrist, why is that on their wrist? Because if you Google Cartier Tortue monopusher on YouTube, I'm sorry, if you YouTube it, there's only a couple videos. I think Christian with Theo and Harris has a video. There's like a blog, some British guys, I can't remember their name. They talk about it for about 3 minutes. That's
Mhm.
really it. It hasn't been a huge success at auction. I can't recall really any articles in Hodinkee or in Monochrome about it. The only place you really see them is they pop up on a collected man quite a bit, sometimes on the Keystone. So when you see this watch on someone's wrist, they made an active choice based solely on the watch, right? No celebrity wore it. It wasn't promoted by the brand. John Mayer didn't talk about it on Talking Watches. And I
Mhm.
think when Journe sees that, they're like, okay, this guy thinks for himself. This guy is willing, because look, this isn't a cheap watch, anywhere from 50 without box and papers to 65 with. You know, they're willing to cut a big check for something that they clearly love because there's nothing in the social media that would make them love this, right? It's not being forced down their throat like a hype piece would be. You know, something like this, something like what Chalkfloat bought
Yep.
recently. I think
That
pieces
was
like that
yep.
speak volumes when you're being vetted by the brand, when they're deciding, is this someone that we want? Because think about this, selling someone a Journe, they are entrusting you with that piece. They want to know that you actually want it. They apparently don't like these things getting flipped and going to auction. So
Yep. Good point. What else is going on?
I don't know. My week's almost over. I'm like in the home stretch. I've got everything mapped out. You know what I mean? I
You mean
know
for the
what I
next
need to
2 weeks
do for
after
the
that?
next.
Your holiday?
No, I just mean for the remaining couple days at work. So I know what
Gotcha.
I got
But
to do. I know what every day in the office is going to look like. It's going to go amazing. And then, company Christmas party, and then 2 weeks off. It's
that's
going to be
it.
great.
So you're one of those folks with 2 weeks off. I
Yeah.
envision a lot of people just what are we gonna do with 2 weeks off?
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. My back's going to be hurting from being in bed all day. Just relaxing, just being a
Sleeping.
couch potato,
Yeah.
just being a piece of shit. I'm going to try to travel a little bit. Um, we'll see how flights are. But, and like, look, I'm saying we'll see how flights are, but I want to Journe. It's the fucking principle, okay? Like, I don't want to pay $1,600 for a 3-hour flight. Sorry, I just don't. So we'll see if I can get a good deal. But yeah, what about you? What do
I
you
don't
got
have any
cooking?
plans. Nah, I got no significant plans for the next 2 weeks. I was actually thinking about going into the city on next Thursday to do some stuff, but it's too cold. Too cold, and
Hmm.
there's no real sense of urgency. I was going to do my like my holiday run where I visit my ads and my essays and drop off a bottle or whatever, but honestly, they don't seem too eager to like you know they don't seem too receptive. So like I'm not going out of my way. I mean, maybe they see it
No,
as a maybe they see it as an inconvenience, to say hi for the holiday season and get a present or get a bottle of wine or whatever. You know,
all right.
if they're that jaded, then that's cool with me. I'm happy staying home.
I don't think it's jaded. I'll speak to you like I'd speak to a golden retriever. You ready?
Thank you, thank you. Woof.
They are so busy. Hopefully, they are so busy. They may have goals. You gotta, we need to reach these Christmas goals. And it's not that they don't want to see you, it's that they don't want to see every one of their 500 customers and have that customer walk in knowing that they're not going to buy anything, that they're going to be getting in their way of making their sales for the year, and they're going to be put in a position where it's implied that they need to give you quality time because A, you're a good customer, but B, you just brought them a gift. You brought them a bottle of wine. So now instead of them being able to sell 500 times 30 minutes, 250 hours of this crunch period for them is devoted to zero sales and simply maintaining relationships. They're probably thinking there's 11 other months of the year where you can do this. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
I when someone walks in that door, I need to be free to go up to them and say, "Hey, how are you? Looking to get something for the wife for the holidays?" Right? It could be a watch, it could be diamonds, it could be whatever. But because they're with you and the other 499 customers who have decided I'm going to come visit and give my sales associate a gift, imagine the position it puts them in where they can't say, "Hey, OC, love you, but I need to go work. I need to go make some
Yep.
money. Thanks for the gift. Bye." You're going to be
Yep.
like, "Fuck you. I'll never come see you again."
Well, that happened. That happened to me one year. That happened to me one year where someone was too busy to actually spend time, and it was basically like, "Oh, thank you for coming by. Gotta go." I was like, "Wait a minute,
Yeah.
that's it?"
Yeah. Yeah. And they handle it as best they could.
I saw a video. I'm almost afraid to bring it up because might be tempted to do one of these reaction videos.
Mhm.
But I saw a video that was arguably one of the worst watch videos I've ever seen. Easily the worst video this year. And I'm tempted. Actually, I can bring it up because I don't even want to promote it. But it was so
Show me.
bad that
Let's see the
should I
thumbnail.
show it?
Just see the thumbnail.
All right, I'll show the
I'll be honest
thumbnail.
if it's a good idea or not.
Okay, I'll show the thumbnail.
I mean,
Okay, it's let me see if I can just hide this real quick here. Oops.
by the way,
Hold on
I
a
like
second.
that you're utilizing the full screen now when you go full screen. You've learned how to stretch
I
the tabs
it
and the
takes
windows.
it's extra work, but that's fine. I mean, okay, so here it is. It's the video at the top. It's called
Oh,
the Rolex market is crashing again, and it's from the Andrew Morgan watches. Has
right.
anybody in the chat attempted to watch this video? This is
I listened
arguably, and I have
to
nothing
like
like
the first I listened to like the first 5 minutes on the way to work today.
was it. I
Can't
don't mean to put words in your mouth, but this was one of the most incomprehensible, meandering, nonsensical, without a point videos I've ever seen, and arguably one of the most convoluted and just completely wacky videos of the year.
Dude, do
I
you have
found.
like Chat GPT where you could just put the link and be like, give
Please
me the
analyze
like
this.
notes? Yeah, what is this guy's point? Like what are his arguments? Because I'll be honest with you, I can't remember a damn word he said.
I
What
I
points
I
was
gotta
he making?
That's the thing about it. I'm almost inclined to turn this video on and let the audience watch it with us. And how the fuck did this guy spend such time making this video? It is just awful. I mean, and it's there's an elaborate script, and there's metaphors, and there's weird tangents. But honestly, you can't even follow what the fucking guy is saying.
Dude,
I
all right. We can play ball, but how long is this video?
It's 20 minutes. There's no way we can play this.
Oh,
Yeah, it's 20
Nah.
minutes.
All right. I don't. AI freaks me out, but we need AI for this. We need the we need the Chat GPT
Okay,
brief.
so okay, here's the summary. Okay, here's the AI video summary.
Oh,
Okay, Rolex's reign may be challenged. Andrew Morgan explores recent market shifts impacting luxury watch prices, examining factors from currency fluctuations to information overload. Discover the complex interplay of global economics and consumer behavior influencing the pre-owned market. Now that's the AI generated
right.
synopsis.
I seem to remember him saying something about like social media has put more watches in front of people than ever before. I'm like, yeah. And like, how is that affecting
It's
Rolex?
like,
Like, how is that not helping Rolex?
yeah, and I don't think any point that he made, and he made literally hundreds of individual points in this video, ever
Mhm.
tied back to the fact that the Rolex market is crashing.
Let me ask you this, OC. I'm gonna ask you some questions. True or false? True or false? A lot of people in the past 5 years entered the watch market because watches were seen as an investment. True or false?
True.
Would you say the majority of people entered the market for those reasons? True or false?
Maybe true. True.
Okay. What's a great way to capture clicks if the majority of people that are interested in Rolex joined under those
Oh,
pretenses?
very smart. Do a video
Your
about Rolex.
investments are crashing, and here's why. You know? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so like, how do you capture viewers? Hey guys, the thing that you all love, it's doomed. Find out why. Find, you know what, OC? Oh, a plane crashed tonight in Siberia. Tune in tonight at 12 to learn more. What are you gonna do? You're gonna fucking tune in at 12. You know? Like, oh shit, I gotta see this. It's the same thing.
Here's what I'm going to do.
Like many people can.
I'm going to put on closed captioning.
Can you like
You don't have
cover
to
his
say.
face?
Can we please go back? What he should do on his channel is he should have two versions: the hands version and the face version. Just the hands, like the old days.
I don't like seeing him. I miss the days of yore when it was just the hands.
Let me see if can I turn this so it's faster. Playback speed 125. Because if I played this in normal speed, you would literally fall asleep. That's how
Right.
bad it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll see how long I can stay
Yeah.
for this.
Let's say okay, cool.
I've got some
All
errands
right,
I'm doing.
guys in the chat. I don't mean to bias you, but you tell me, does any of this make any sense? Okay. Hey, we've got bicolored bezel with the first and only super chat.
Excuse me.
$1.99. Wrist check for the panel and future acquisitions. Okay. Wrist check. I'm wearing the Snow Dweller, Rolex Snow Dweller 43 millimeter. Oyster steel, giant, massive clasp. Black dial, black Cerachrome bezel. Doesn't look
Sick.
horrible on me. Looks pretty good, actually, right? Well, that
Very
doesn't look
nice.
so flattering. Without exposing what you're wearing, because the audience doesn't want to see that, Diego.
Let's see. Put some pants on.
Are you wearing a watch?
Yeah.
Look at that.
Whatever.
Boom.
It's backwards for me. It's weird.
That is Nope, it's forwards.
Okay.
That's the Patek Philippe Nautilus 5712. It's the moon
The
phase
MJ.
model.
So this is the MJ. Okay,
Yeah.
there's the MJ, right? Here's the Brody. Ooh. Right?
Yep. Your phone turned. It's okay.
I'll do the Buckley really quick. Let me just make sure my face fat doesn't show up.
Turn your
Here's
there you go.
here's the Buckley.
That's the Buckley shot. Yep.
That's the Buckley. So yeah.
Cool. All right.
Did my
Thank
face
you,
fat show up?
bicolor bezel. It did not. Just your triple chin.
Good. Oh shit.
All right.
Okay.
Let's play this video. I will also do this because I love Andrew Morgan and his watches. I'm going to drop a link to his channel right here in the chat. Actually, there's a link to this specific video. You go watch it because we're not going to watch the entire thing here. You watch it and then come back to me, like send me a note on Instagram. Did this make any sense? Because I don't think it did.
Do you know if he was at the January 6th thing, by the way?
I
I can
I'm not
neither
sure.
confirm nor deny. I don't know. I'm just joking.
I'm not
Sorry.
sure.
I don't know why I said
All right, here
that.
we go.
Like many people considering a big watch purchase, or perhaps those who've already made one, a close eye on the market reveals some unnerving insights into the sensibility, or otherwise, of buying a luxury watch. It's been a tumultuous few years that appeared to be on the verge of stabilizing, but just in the last few months, the market has taken a turn for the worse. Let's have a look at why that is, what it means, and whether you should hold off on your next purchase or buy before it's too late. Since February of this year, the two main barometers of watch market health, the overall pre-owned index and the Rolex pre-owned.
So we've talked about this recently, right? We saw it happening before it happened.
Yes, we saw it. We
Do you want to
called it
explain
in.
to the audience what that is really quickly?
Well, I wasn't really even paying attention to what he said. But are you talking about like the peak of the market?
He said, all indicators show that like watches are they're going down. Like he's gonna have his reasons, but we know we know what happened.
Well, you know what
Yes,
happened.
there's been a little bit of a dip, and we know why. I'm interested to see if he knows.
Let's see if he knows.
Index measured by Morgan Stanley's watch data gurus of choice, watch charts, have reversed course from their depressing downhill trajectory. More promising. It came at a not entirely unexpected time, with the indexes meeting the hypothetical projection of pre-COVID data, and it seemed that at last normality had been restored. At least with watches.
What the fuck's he talking about, Diego?
What is normality?
What the fuck's he? What the
Define-
fuck did it? I can't go back and play this 10 times. But this got none of these sentences make any sense. Like we
I
just
think he
listened to that,
started-
and there's no way to fucking understand what he just said.
I think he's setting it up to be like, we had the COVID bump. We also had the COVID crash, the post-COVID crash. And then I think the words he said was watches were trending up and they reached the pre-COVID bump. So they got back in line with where they were because they went below that, right? And then he's like, oh, and now we were at normality. So I think his definition of normality is the pre-COVID spike numbers. And they were on an upward trend.
I think you're doing a good job analyzing. This is good. I wish I had you around the first time I watched this.
September, early October, the horological rollercoaster took another unexpected twist, reversing the promising trend of the last 7 months back into a downward trajectory. There are many reasons why this could have happened, and we'll explore the biggest contributors today, starting with one that I don't think many people really consider the consequences of: too much information. Too much information is bad, and not just because you can't unhear your colleague's colonic irrigation routine, but because too much information can, at its worst, become a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Knowing what the watch market is doing in great detail at a brand level means having the data to make fast-acting decisions, which in turn has its own impact on that market data. Herd mentality kicks in. No one wants to be the one left holding the hot, steaming turd, even if it was designed by Gerald Genter. Many users of health tracking devices have suffered a similar overload of information, receiving way more depth knowledge than they could ever know what to do with, which ultimately adds stress to the system, thus causing more problems than it solves.
I kind of agree with him a little bit on this. So I agree with him. Too much information could mean you stumble across a video on YouTube that says, oh, the Beijing P's, we're not paying over retail anymore for those. Right? So what is that? Okay. A lot of people are like, you know what? I don't want the Beijing P anymore. So there's that. But I think we have to define or he needs to do a better job of defining what that information is. You can't just say too much information. What information?
Do you like his analogy of saying that healthcare monitoring devices have
No.
too much information, so that adds stress to the system?
Uh,
What?
you
Where
know
did
what?
that, where did
I
that come
kinda
from?
remember kinda remember what he's I remember what he said now. A point he makes is like people that have people that make more visits to the doctors tend to have procedures that they didn't need or something like that. But it's like, okay, but how do you tie that into this is why watches are going down in value?
Yeah,
And
doesn't
the reason they're going down in value is extremely simple. But yeah.
let's keep going.
device that
By the way, this video is copyrighted content, and we're playing it consistent with U.S. copyright laws under fair use.
tells you when you wake up at 3 a.m. with restless leg and a pounding headache that you didn't sleep very well is entirely redundant. In fact, in medicine, routine screening has even been associated with overdiagnosis and unnecessary medical intervention. So although, yes, some individuals receive life-saving procedures they would have perhaps missed had they not been screened, the net impact overall is actually negative.
Can you imagine if you spent your education learning how to play the piano, and then you recorded a track that was going to be like made available to YouTube, YouTube creators and all that. And this is what your music is used for. This is what your education is used for. It's to be the background for some Rolex montage while this guy talks about health devices. It's so
I don't,
funny.
I don't know. When he was writing this, how did that even come into his brain? Just like spend 30 seconds talking about health, life-saving visits, to the
Well,
doctor, all this stuff.
so he might not make his point. So far he hasn't, but what he's saying is that watches have gone down in value because consumers have too much information.
Too much information.
And too much information is a bad thing. And here's an example
Just like
of when
doctors.
that is a
Yeah,
bad
just like
thing.
doctors. Yeah.
Yeah, when people are, what do you call that? Kleptomaniacs? Is that what it's called?
People who steal things.
What's it called when people are like getting like full body scans like every 2 months?
I don't know what that's called.
There's a word, but yeah, what he's saying is like, here's an example of where too much information is bad. You go to the
Hypochondriacs,
doctor every
maybe?
month. Exactly. You're a hypochondriac. You go to the doctor every month. You do preventative procedures. It actually shortened your lifespan, you know? Okay, great. That's an example of too much information being bad, but let's see if he ties it back into the
Let's see if
watch
he does.
consumer.
A knee-jerk reaction to natural market deviation can result in a resonant overreaction, a driver too close on a fast-moving freeway creating a chain effect that triggers a 10-car pile not long later, aptly known in both contexts as a crash. There's a lot to learn from market data that can go a long way to protecting many individuals, but perhaps as a collective, it's more than reasonably handled. A little knowledge, as they say, can be more dangerous than none at all. Sometimes ignorance really is bliss. There are several layers to this particular onion, and one of the topmost layers can best be attributed to rising retail prices. The various reasons for these price increases will be covered in detail as we go, but first I wanted to get an understanding of why increasing RRPs, which will obviously deter people from buying new, have a negative effect on pre-owned. Many brands saw
the access to this kind of pricing information is why the prices are going down.
I think he says, yeah, but we've had that price information forever, right? So nothing has changed on that front. What has changed is that the prices are falling. Obviously, if prices are falling and people have information to that, they're going to make decisions based on that information. That's not the reason the reason that there's a quote unquote crash is not because the consumers all of a sudden have access to this information. Why isn't he looking at the reason that the prices fell in the first place?
I thought he was saying that people are having access to information that prices are going up, and therefore it's having a negative effect. I mean, that's what I
No,
thought
because
he said.
he was saying that little chart he showed, it was like we're on a downward trajectory again. Why is this? And he says the first reason, and an often overlooked, is that people have access to information, too much information. Well, they
But
had
the
that
information they had was
information when
prices
it was
going
going
up.
up. Exactly.
Yeah.
They had the same information was going. So again, to my point, no, you're wrong, Andrew Morgan. You need to be focusing on why that pricing went down to begin with. How about how many watches were being imported in the past couple
layers
months?
can best be attributed to rising retail prices. The various reasons for these price increases will be covered in detail as we go, but first I wanted to get an understanding of why increasing RRPs, which will obviously deter people from buying new, have
Okay.
So
Rising
now he's talking
retail
about rising
prices
retail prices. Yeah.
deter people from buying new,
a negative effect on pre-owned.
have a negative effect on pre-owned. They have a negative? Okay.
Many brands saw the COVID boom as an opportunity to capitalize on unprecedented spend, and in the short term, they benefited from it greatly, raking in record profits, even for brands that historically balance the books like a drunk librarian. The problem is those higher prices are challenging to reverse, not least because it doesn't read all that well in terms of consumer confidence, but also because with this increase in revenue, many of the brands scaled up their operations with it. But that should direct people to pre-owned instead, shouldn't it?
Dude, he's just saying shit. Like
I just
some of the stuff he
I don't
says,
understand any of this.
some of the
He's
stuff he
just
says
spewing
is
stuff.
true. Some of the stuff he says is true. Like brands did see an opportunity, they seized the moment. In
Yeah,
the
but
short
there's no
term,
point to
they
it. It's like
benefited.
there's literally hundreds of these statements that he makes that don't tie together into a logical thread.
They don't. So he makes like 3 or 4 statements that are true, and then he ends it with, and this should drive people closer to the secondary market, but it doesn't. Like what? What the fuck? What are you talking about?
This is arguably worst video of the year.
Increasing pre-owned market values. Well, yes. For a while to increase in revenue, many of the brands scaled up their operations with it. But that should direct people to pre-owned instead, shouldn't it? Increasing pre-owned market values. Well, yes, for a while. The drive to
No.
pre-owned is fueled first and
Why would you? Oh, why would you? No.
Guys, we're 4 minutes into a 22-minute video, and none of it really makes sense,
Dude,
so far.
OC Omega increased production of their watches. I'm gonna go buy it pre-owned. What?
foremost by desirability of the product, but if higher prices on the primary market kill demand, that ultimately has a knock-on effect on secondary. This is made worse by rising RRPs dragging secondary prices with them, overpriced watches with low demand to sit on shelves for months.
Who the fucking understand this? Who's following this?
He's saying that increase in RRP, I guess that's a British term, retail
for
something
MSRP.
price,
Yeah.
increases the secondary. It doesn't. We know it doesn't.
Time
We've seen
before
that it
being
doesn't.
traded out to another retailer or sold at a discount to combat aging stock. Even when retailers inevitably discount the new stock rather than resetting the balance, it ultimately ties consumer confidence even more, drying up any last vestiges of interest in the brand. For big group watchmakers, that's a percentage shift on a spreadsheet that gets absorbed over time, but for a small independent, it can be catastrophic. Quiet campaigns to buy up all the pre-owned stock to save face on the secondary market can start to wipe the slate clean. But the investment required to do that has to be reconciled somewhere, and that's...
Dude, way too many synonyms. He's
Wait,
dude.
who the fuck uses the word vestiges in a video?
He is, at this point, he's made like 90 arguments. It's too much. He's like,
it's insane who wrote this?
likely to be,
It's a
yes, you guessed it,
really-
higher retail prices. The house always wins, even if the house is on fire. This is, of course, all a global situation, but given that the United States is the sole largest consumer of luxury watches, both new and used, it makes sense that the source of many of these tremors felt around the world are often to be found in the good old US of A. I'm still talking about watches. The simplest connection to make between this dominant market and the most luxury watches, Switzerland, is the ratio of the two currencies. And it...
oh my God. Now he's going into a currency.
I don't understand the first point
Discrepancies
that he
in
made.
terms. Oh.
It's not good. For the last 2 years, the value of the dollar has been decreasing. That makes trade with other countries more expensive, raising the relative cost of everything imported. Of course, America as an overall economy is considered one of the most self-reliant in the world, but when it comes to Swiss watches, they by nature have...
Is the U.S. economy is one of the most self-reliant economies? I think, don't we do like more trade
Nope.
with other aren't we one of the most international countries?
Yeah.
I mean, we import a ton.
Billions.
To be from
Billions of
Switzerland.
acres of corn.
No amount of homegrown
All right.
ability is going to make a Swiss watch in America. Meanwhile, the value of the Swiss franc has been uniformly increasing for decades, catching up to the British pound as one of the strongest currencies in the world. And when the dollar goes down and the Swiss franc goes up, the relative price increase gets compounded, and that's going to give buyers pause for thought.
Pause for thought.
How many increases due to currency has the United States seen in the past 2 years? 0.
Since February
You know
this
who
year,
saw an
one
increase?
Swiss franc has gone from
England. They saw an increase due to their currency issues, right?
Yeah. Well, we
Okay,
did
so
we
what
did
the
have
fuck is he
we did have
talking
dollar to
about?
franc currency issues, as well as price of gold and tariffs. So
Yeah, but there was the
the
gold and all that, and the
$1.10.
tariffs, I understand. But this whole currency discrepancy thing it has absolutely nothing to do with consumer sentiment on buying a freaking watch. It's absolutely
I just
nothing to
don't.
do with it.
This is just the strangest video I've ever seen.
$1.25, which, although not perhaps enough to push up retail prices on its own, is one of many factors that is. When you scale up that ratio into tens of thousands of dollars, it's going to sting. Switzerland's reputation as a financial safe haven may be great for the wealthy residents who live there, but for the rest of the world that consumes their exports, it means higher prices paid. And coupled to that, the protection of Swiss made by law means there's little ability to downsize those costs by shipping production overseas. Some aspects can be moved to manufacturing nations like China, but ultimately there's a cap on what's possible set by Swiss government. Other manufacturers of luxury assets like clothes, bags, hi-fi, whatever, have long since transferred some or all of their production to China. The location of the brand's origin then becomes more of a spiritual home where the intangible elements like design and human resources and the world has
He's off on one of those other tangents again.
Yeah.
He's talking about
Jeez.
taking advantage of Chinese labor. It's like, why did the watch prices go down? Get to the point.
Well, it's because
Move on
it's because consumers have more information than ever before, which they've always had. It's because of currency fluctuation, which I don't remember ever being like, oh, I'm not going to buy a watch because the Swiss franc is so high right now. Dude, the prices in the United States did not really change that much, if at all. It was inconsequential.
in many cases and accepted
That's all we have so far.
that for what it is. For Swiss made, they're stuck. It's such a point of importance that ditching it is out of the question. It would be like summer without sun, but
Oh my god! What these analogies?
It'd be like
point of importance, ditching it is out of the question.
Skiing without snow.
Listen to this.
It would be like summer without sun, but without Ernie. It's only due
Bert without Ernie. What the fuck's he talking about? Who wrote this? God, it's awful.
He did. Oh, ChatGPT. Dude, do you think he's doing
Holy shit.
ChatGPT?
Wait, now he's talking about Swiss made. Like, what the? Why did he include all this shit in this video? Like when he's writing this, I need to talk about Swiss made and what it means. Who gives a fuck?
the luxury nature of these products and the wealth of the few who can buy them that it's even sustainable at all. Although as prices increase, that pool shrinks, and so
his sentences don't make any sense, Diego. Everything he says, this doesn't make any sense.
You know what? If he simply said, for a myriad of reasons, prices have increased significantly in the past couple years, which has caused buyers to maybe not think that the value is there anymore, and so they're no longer buying from the retail market, which means that there's less inventory going to dealer. I don't know. There's so many different other angles he could take in this that would have made some sense and would have been easily understood.
Mm-hmm.
But my God.
At all. Although as prices increase, that pool shrinks, and so there are losses along the way. One of the big reasons for price increases on watches over COVID, and indeed price increases on pretty much everything, was due to rising material costs. Although since a peak in 2021, many raw materials like steel have actually dropped significantly in value. Not gold, however. While steel continues to be the material for most luxury watches, an increasing desirability for precious metals has seen the quantum leap in the cost of gold drive up large price increases on many models. For brands like Rolex and Patek Philippe, whose volume is significantly impacted by gold, that creates a significant shift in average price. Gold prices have been comfortably on the rise.
This would explain why prices of watches went up.
Right. You know what? Like, I can't tell if he's speaking for the present dip, or right now it appears he's speaking for the past increase. Oh my god.
Is he doing like one of these like when Britt Pierce said, like, I'm gonna explain to you why, you know, the spike happened and the crash happened? But that's not what this video is about. This video is supposed to be about, over the last 3 months, prices of Rolex have
down 2.79% or whatever it was.
The title of this again is Rolex prices have crashed or whatever. You know, Rolex is about to crash.
Since the turn of the millennium.
Rolex market is crashing again. Okay, that's the title of this video.
A baseline for value that goes beyond currency and has been that way for millennia. The shift in gold prices is often tied to financial turmoil since it's one of the safest things to put money in. When oil prices rose, people bought gold. When the 2008 financial crisis happened, people bought gold. COVID, gold. And now, for many reasons bringing uncertainty to the market that in a very meta roundabout way are affecting watch prices too, people are buying gold. In just 5 years, the price has over doubled. Since the tariff announcement in August, the price shot up by almost 50%. If you're interested only in steel watches, however, why does that matter? Because rarely do brands apply uplifts in prices forced by influences outside of their control entirely to just the product affected. Yes, as Rolex has done, they may bias increases to gold models, but if it means...
Okay, so that's largely untrue as well, as the price of steel models has barely gone up for many brands.
Yeah.
Prices of gold models have gone, prices of gold and precious metal models have gone way, way up. And the prices of steel have gone up by 1% a year. You know?
If he prefaced this by saying, first I'm going to explain why we had the crash post-COVID. Here's all the things that went into it. Okay, I can follow along. But again, I can't, it's hard for me to keep up with if he's talking the present crash again or the previous, or if he's explaining why we had a bubble. Like, he is all over the fucking place.
He's all over the place. And the price of gold is going up today. So it's not just something that happened 5 years ago.
Means a lower overall increase for all customers rather than a large increase for some customers on, let's face it, models that are harder to sell. That's the option the brands are going to take. If steel watches sell easily, they'll still sell easily with a few extra percent on the price tag. This wealth of interconnectivity we have today means the global economy has so many options to make things worse for the average consumer. The get out of jail free card is to move production to manufacturing nations like China, where materials and labor are cheaper. But in a weird twist in the tale, global demand for China's capabilities has given rise to a large group of affluent Chinese individuals who became a
What
very...
the fuck is he talking about, Diego?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
What?
Why can't he just say that they imported...
Why is he now talking about the Chinese economy?
Why can't he just say that in the past 3 months they doubled imports of watches, right?
Yeah.
And that there's way too many watches in circulation and that dealers are saying, I'm good. Because you know why the pricing was going up maybe 6 months ago? Because the tariffs caused artificial scarcity. Brands weren't shipping watches to the United States until they knew what the fuck was going to happen. And so there was little inventory circulating on the secondary market, which caused scarcity, which when demand outweighs supply, the price goes up. And what happens when the inverse happens and they double the imports? Now supply outweighs demand. The price goes down. It's that simple, Andrew. Fuck.
tempting target for many luxury brands in the West. The perspective was simple, and I want to iterate at this point not one shared by me. New money Chinese folk want to emulate the culture and style of the West, so they'll buy any old expensive thing well-known brand names care to make. This, at one point, may have been true, with brands like Roger Dubuis banking on gaudy and ostentatious displays of wealth to find success in the Chinese market. But Chinese customers have very quickly caught on, asking, as much of the world is now thanks to targeted campaigns demonstrating China's impact on luxury production, ironically, what value are they really getting?
That's the longest question ever was in the history of YouTube. How many words was that?
Dude, I fell asleep on that one.
Mathis in the chat. Member for 14 months. What the fook is this guy talking about? Beans and toast sucks. Too much beans and toast, Mr. Morgan. This is torture.
I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'm trying to pay attention. And like understand, like I've given him points where he was right, but then he makes good points and then he just makes a random synonym. You're just like, what? Or analogy.
I'm done, Diego. No one wants to jump on the panel and talk about this anymore. How about you? Good? We good?
Brilliant. Oh man, it's like skiing without snow. Sleeping without a blanket. Showering without water.
Blanket.
Cutting your toenails without a toenail clipper.
Vestiges. Vestiges.
Yeah. This dude.
Oh man.
Clickbait.
Clickbait. But even though it's clickbait, what we will do is let me see here. We will still drop the link to the video again in the chat. And that's it. That's it.
Nice. Good show. Good conversations.
Yeah. Let's play the outro video. Peace out, everybody. Good night. We love you. Peace out.
Buenas noches.
And action!